Hi.
It's so great to have you here.
Thank you.
Despite the
Thank you
traffic
for
in
having
Lagos on a
me.
Friday afternoon, I know it's
It's
quite crazy.
hectic out there.
Yeah, I know. And of course, we have Ronke Bamisheddon with us in the studio as well.
Hello.
Okay, so Ronke, I'm going to need you to move a little bit closer to the mic, actually, so we
Okay.
can hear you clearly. Yeah, that's much better. So, guys, if you would love to join in on the conversation, please feel free to do so. Remember, you can find it up on Instagram at smooth981. We have our topic for today there. You can also drop a message on WhatsApp with the number 0809 444 Don't forget, you can tweet at smooth981FM as well. And if you'd love to listen live, you can do so via the app or through the website. That is smooth981.fm. So, guys, we're going to go straight to our topic for today. And this is something interesting I came across on social media. There was a lady who actually talked about it, and people kind of had like different views and different opinions about it. And it was about how women in general or over time have come to fall, let's just say, into two spectrums. um the woman who would rather get the bag, or the one who would rather be the bag. And when we talk about women getting the bag, we're talking about women who would rather just, they're comfortable with the idea of, let me just find myself a rich man who is going to take care of me, take care of my bills, buy me this, take me up to out to trips and all that. And then there's the woman who would rather work for her own money, make her own money, buy stuff for herself, and just be cool with that. So that is what we're discussing. So we're going to be taking your thoughts and your opinions on this. I would say that with all things, you just need to find what works for you. I actually don't have a problem with a woman who wants to get the bag, to be very honest. If you're comfortable with, go find a man who's going to take care of you, and you find a man who is ready, who's looking for somebody to take care of, hey, knock yourself out. And if you're the type of lady who, who wants to, go out there, get her money, because if you really look at it, especially for people who are even married, sometimes they're like, yeah, I'm making my own money, but my money is my money. I'm not sharing my money with you. You still take care of me at the
Mm.
end of the day. So yeah, that's what I feel. I don't know what you guys think about that. Okay, so let's start with
All
bidding.
right. Well, I mean, it all boils down to financial independence, right? And when you look at the data and the stats that are available, you have women who aren't financially independent are the ones that tend to stay in like unhealthy relationships just because they have no way out. If you're looking at marriages that are crumbling, domestic violence, and all these situations, it's women who aren't financially independent. So I feel you can be a woman who's, getting her money and just being the bag and being independent and still be supported by your partner or your husband or whatever. But it's so important for the world is changing. The way things are, there's no security. You find that the way the world is structured now, you find that men do want some form of support. And
Yes,
also
they
you just
do.
also don't want to be that woman where for every single thing you need a man to support you. So getting the bag, being the bag, it's really nice when you're a woman that's sort of, you have that balance of, I can do this myself if I want to, and if I also have extra support, that's nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Ronka,
Yeah.
what's your thought?
So I guess for me, I was raised by a homemaker as such, right? And I have three sisters, so we're four girls. And I remember growing up, my mom would always say I would never let my kids be homemakers. And I think that also came from the fact that yes, she loved being at home to take care of the house and us, but it also meant that with her being a homemaker, she had to rely on my dad for a lot of support. And that drove her to say, you know what, my girls have to go out, they have to work. And just like Bidemi said, it means that you don't want to have to ask a man for everything that you need, right? So I guess I grew up fiercely wanting to get the bag, right? So I guess for me, it would be the intention behind it, right? Are you looking for a rich man just to take care of you because you don't want to work? Right,
Okay.
that's a different intention of saying, listen, I want to be a kept woman, I don't want to work, I don't want to break a nail. So that's an intention, right? For me, I want to be the lady who goes out and gets her bag, right? But I also would help you spend yours, right? So that's where I am in this conversation, is the fact that I have two hands. I can go out and I can get the bag, right? I will get it, I would invest it, I will put it in trust. But seeing that you want to be the head of the family, I would also let you by helping you spend the bag that you're bringing in. So I guess that's my initial take on this. But I guess it now depends on, if you want to look at it deeper, why does the woman feel the need that she needs a rich man when she can equally go out and do exactly what they're doing and bring the income home? But again, if you just decide that you want a rich man, as Bidemi said, there's so much that comes with that. Respect is something that I've seen a lot of women lose because of that, right? Especially with this generation, especially in this environment whereby a man who looks at you as a trophy might think he likes it, but then you also lose that sort of respect where it's just like, well, I can do whatever I want. This one's not going anywhere. Where is she going to go?
Mm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to look at those specific instances where that also happens, domestic abuse and everything else, because the man feels like this one's not going anywhere because she doesn't have anything to fall back on.
Okay, so that brings me to my next thought. Are we, for the people who are very pro getting the bag, are we judging?
No.
No, not at all. I'm not
Which
judging
which
at
is what
all.
she said. The intention is
Mhm.
what, and if your intent is really to find that man that's going to take care of you 100%, no problem. But that could come with challenges of its own. And then you also have the flip side of men who actually want this supporting woman in quotes,
Yes.
but their egos, it's like you don't need anything from them, and then they start to have all these sort of problems with having a powerful woman.
Yes,
So you have men who want powerful women, but
can handle it.
exactly.
I mean, it's just like very contradictory. Anyways, okay, so for example, you made an example of your mom who
Hey, mom.
I hope she's listening. But would you say for some women, uh was she working before that?
She was actually. She was working. That generation. They say they did business admin, reception. I
Yeah,
don't know,
yeah,
something
they did.
along that
They
sort
did,
of
yeah.
being a secretary
Yeah.
or whatever. So yeah, she
Yeah.
was working. And you know what's actually funny is the fact that, from the story that I gather, my dad actually paid for my mom's school fees, right? And she
Ooh,
went,
okay.
she did like a business degree in Loughborough University. So I always found it weird that after they got married, he just didn't want her to work.
Okay, see, I was
He
gonna go.
just
I was
didn't want
gonna
her
go
to
there
work
first.
again, and she didn't.
I have friends who they're at a point right now
Mm.
where they get like from uni, they worked and all that. They're working right now, but they're like, okay, they're getting married, they're having kids, and they're like, you know what? I'm getting tired, you know, running the family, taking care of the kids, taking care of the husband, taking care of the job, taking care of myself.
Mm.
Yet you're probably not even taking care of yourself, by the way.
Mhm.
So they're like, you know what? I'm getting tired. I think I want to like just relax, not work maybe for like a year, 2 or 3, and just, have my husband, take care of things in the house. So sometimes, I mean, I think some women might look into it as though, hey, in case I'm not able to work, you know, I may be able to find someone who would still be very financially okay to take care of the family, especially when the income is not coming from 2 places,
Mm.
at the end of the day. That also, tends to happen sometimes. But I kind of feel like most times, especially in the society we live in, everybody tends to look down, or maybe it's just the way our generation has, because there's a very, very huge difference between our generation and that of our mothers.
Yeah.
It's just the way we've grown up. So when we see a lady who's after a rich man, a lot of people tend to be judgmental, like, you can't work. I mean, you're just a gold digger. Like people tend to throw names
Mm.
in there as well. I don't know if you've ever seen such examples.
Well, I think, first of all, financial independence, especially for women in that situation, you've been working, you're now in your life is changing in a certain way. Financial independence is not actually about the money, the amount you have. It's what have you done with it? Have you invested in trust, in treasury bills? Have you been saving or have you just been spending the money? So that is what true independence is. So you should, when you are financially independent, you should be able to take time off and
Right.
still have your money working for you, right? But and then you then also have the women who that is their intent, as Ronke has clearly outlined, but then you're bothered that people know about
Judging
your
it.
intent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, people are always going to judge, right?
Mhm.
But if that's your true intention, you shouldn't actually feel affected by that.
Yeah. I guess if you also look at it, I'm judging a certain type of girl that's looking for a man, a rich man to buy handbags. Listen, I'm gonna judge it. If you're looking for a rich man so that you can get like
Like
wigs
just have the
every
fabulous
week,
life.
yeah, then I have a serious problem with that. I don't stand for that, because for me, I just don't subscribe to those sorts of values. I wasn't raised to subscribe to those sorts of values, right? And I think the world is changing whereby women just sit at home and just let a man spoil them and all of that, right? So that intention is very clear for me, right? At what cost would you, because you get some people that say, listen, I don't care about love, I don't care about anything, I just need to find this guy, regardless of who he is, regardless of whether he's in a relationship with that, regardless of whether he has a family somewhere else. I'm just looking for a rich man. That is a no-no for me. Yes, so yes, I am judging you wherever you are.
Okay, so we have a Roke. Roke is judging.
I'm judging you, and when I see a few of you, I always give you the side eye, But then, just again, like Bidemi said, right? And what also something that we also have to look at is the fact that if you are a woman who's working and you're a woman that is securing her bag, right? Naturally, you would also maybe date or marry somebody who's on par with you, whether in your career or financially. And I know people always say, no, marry somebody and you guys can build up, right? There's nothing wrong with that. What I've also seen in those relationships is the fact that men say that they can handle powerful women. And then you begin to look at the dynamics of those relationships, and it's different when they're dating. But suddenly you have a wife who's earning more than you. You have a problem with it. Your insecurities are then projected on the female, who then feels the need to tone down or not celebrate her accomplishments to suit a man. That I don't look at. So I always say to people, right, if you're going to marry, now I'm a preacher, and I preach this from personal experience, is the fact that, listen, don't let all these Instagram quotes feel like fool you. Know your level. People don't want to say this openly, because then they say, oh, you're looking down on somebody. It doesn't matter if you've achieved this level of success. You need to be able to date somebody, and who knows what the future holds, right? Oh, well and good. My own mantra, I don't care about you. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to, but my own mantra now, based on a personal experience that I've had, whereby for me, I realized that this guy just could not handle somebody that he felt was more successful than him. So there was and he also like vocalized that, right? Because sometimes people begin to resent what they're not.
Yeah.
They begin to resent what they're not. So I always now say to people, listen, know your level, right? If you know that you're already securing your bag, you know what's in your account. You need to be attracting a man who's earning more than you, right? Who can inspire you professionally as well, so that there are no issues. Because otherwise, the flip side, you find yourself doing something else, trying to like tone down your achievements for somebody, and in the long run, it really isn't worth it.
You know what? We're gonna go on a quick break. We're just gonna drink cold water to everything
Yeah.
Ronke just said. So, guys, we will be right back. Stick around.
Yes, it's Bravo.
People never want to say that.
I know,
They
right?
never
I
want
kind of
to
feel
say
like the
that.
whole knowing your level and like just staying in your level. Like I always say, find your financial lane. It is very, very important.
Smooth 98.1.
98.1. So much of what you like. So much
Alright.
of what you need.
Just a quick short break, and we just might be rounding this up soon. Okay, good stuff. We're back. And we are back, City of Lagos. Remember, you are still listening to the Casbah on your Love Music, Love Live station. Right now, it's just a little chit-chat segment where we get to talk about things related to women and life and much more. Okay, so today we have Ronke Bamishedan with us, and we also have Bidemi Zakaria. I keep praying I don't murder that name, but yeah, I think I'm doing good so far. Remember, Lagos, if you'd like to be a part of the show, the number is 0809 444 That is our WhatsApp number. You can also tweet at smooth981fm. Oh yeah, check us out on Instagram as well at smooth981. So I actually have a couple of messages here. I have Alicia O, who says, "Hi, ladies. I take both. I will be the bag and still get the bag. It's a win-win." Well, we like you, Alicia. We like you. Uh Cruz, really? Yes, Khadijah is married. Thank the Lord. Let's see. We have this one here by Angela, who says, "Thank you so much for your topic today." Hopefully you get to, pick up a few things, a few tips that might be really really useful for you in the whole discussion. So yes, still talking about getting the bag or being the bag. I mean, Ronke has touched on a couple of different things that I kind of feel like they're like topics for
Other
so
things,
so
yeah.
so many other days, so many other days. And so far we've talked about situations where situations might arise where you would need the man to be the bag, right? And I mean, we've also looked into how there is also differences in the generations that we've had, our moms and us as well. And Bronke, you just talked about something really really important about how you need to find your financial lane. That's just how I like to put it, how you need to find your financial lane, and try to find somebody who will be good enough, or someone who can actually handle, I think the word is actually handle your growth.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because sometimes when you meet a guy, you guys are probably at the same level at the time. And then over time, things maybe get a lot better for you. Things are looking nice and sweet. You're advancing and all that. And the guy's like, yeah, I'm not really sure what's good. But I think it's really nice that he was very honest with you and he opened up uh, about it to you. Because some guys would
After
just.
no, after the fact, and after, yeah, he cheated with a 22-year-old actress. But that's again a story for another day. That's a story for another day, I'm
That's
just here to drop the bomb this afternoon. But again, that's just an example of like a worst case scenario, right? When you decide not to be honest with yourself, when you decide not to set boundaries from the beginning and say, listen, I know where I am in life right now, I know what I'm trying to achieve, and you begin to look for potential in somebody, that's what happens. And it's fine, it's a learning curve for all. And I guess with that, there's a lot of honesty that can come from, listen, now we understand that possibly men have a problem with women who are securing the bag, because it's great to be like the woman who's preaching secure your bag, and don't let anybody tell you something, right? But when you begin to see the impact it could have on a relationship, then it's important to take a step back and begin to have those honest conversations with yourself, to say, okay, you know what, yes, I do want to be the woman who runs her business, who secures her bag. But what I'm also then going to do is make sure that I find a man who's securing more bags, who's not securing coins, who's securing
Exactly.
more bags than I am, so we don't have a problem.
Exactly, because sometimes you have situations where you're securing the bag, the guy notices you're securing the bag, and it's a lot of bags. You have a
Yeah.
lot of bags, maybe bags enough for 2, 3, 4 people, and it's like, okay, well,
Amen.
she's doing the job. I might as well just, relax.
Yeah.
I might as well just relax at the end of the day, So I think you also want to be very careful when you're securing the bag and when you're looking for a man with or without a bag. Honestly, I kind of feel like, just know what you want and then know how you would go from there. I actually have another message from Angela who says, "I have been in a relationship where the guy has inferiority complex." So are you still in that relationship, or are you done with it, or are you still thinking about it? If you're still thinking about, what exactly are you thinking about?
And then also those are the sort of men that then go on to be violent,
Right.
and also,
Right.
so you just don't want, once you can sense that, at least if you're in a relationship and you can sense that, it's a good time to get out.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time to get out. I kind of feel like, and it's why I also kind of have a problem with people who rush relationships, because I've been in a room where, Lord, I've been in rooms of weird people. I've been in a room where, a lady was like, you know what, I just want to meet somebody this year and get married to him. And I'm like,
Intention.
how do you, I mean, because, I mean, when you're dating, it's still safe to pack your things and get out. When you
Yeah.
get married, you just have to deal with it.
Not
When you're
really.
in there.
I don't
Necessarily.
subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Just deal with it. I'm not one of those people. I just got married, right? I
Yay.
don't hope to have any issues, but I've always been of the opinion that if you do have issues, you can leave, because the issues tend to escalate into like a full on, you can die.
Yeah.
And there are women who have died, and you do not have to be stuck in a situation just because society says, oh, once you're married, you sort of have to work it out. Whatever is happening, just make sure everything works out, and show up and just support and whatever. No, if something is going bad and it can't be fixed, you can leave, even if you're married with kids.
Okay.
Even though that's just so much, it's harder to leave
Yeah,
in
it
those
is harder.
situations,
It is
but you
harder.
actually have the option to.
Okay. I'm going to talk to my producer about that. Are you a tree? You can move, right? So, yeah.
And then the financially independent women
Just-
tend to move.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Quickly.
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 They're like, nah, I'm not going to be a part of this.
Okay, so I think this now brings us into the next part, which is, why is it so important for us to let other women know that you need to get your bag, no matter how little it is? Why is it so important? What makes it so important? Or why is it so important, really, for other women to know this? Because there are people who have that mindset. I remember during my service here year, and a lady was like, you know what? She feels like she was just destined to just be married and just be a wife. And like, everybody cringed.
It's a nice image to
But
have.
yeah,
Right.
but I'm like, at the end of the day, I
Right.
respect people and their views, and I think there's nothing wrong with wanting to be married if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because if you think about it, like Ronke rightly said earlier, some women will intentionally, without their husbands even asking them, will intentionally say, you know what, at this point, I think Nikki is retiring right now. She's like, you know what, I'm going to retire. I need to take care of my family. She's trying to focus on her personal life.
Right.
So I respect that. But sometimes I kind of feel like they probably don't understand why it is important for you to be your own bag. So can we like talk about that? The importance of it.
Yeah, I guess the main thing is independence, right? It's that security that you have from having your own. What is your own? What is your own? It's very hard for somebody to take it from you. Fine if you do decide that you want to find a rich man who's going to take care of you, right? As he's giving you that allowance, I recommend that you take some of it and you begin to put it in a trust, right? Put it in something that is going to yield you more. So God forbid anything happens, you have something to fall back on. So I guess the key messaging for me is something to fall back on.
Yeah,
If
something
you
to fall
have
back on.
that, if you have that, because who knows what life holds, right? What if there's a death in the partner? We've heard those stories whereby there's a death of a partner, there's no will, the family comes in, they take everything, right? So you need to be able to think ahead of that. So if you know that you have a strategy and the money that you're getting, you're also putting it aside. If you're deciding that, okay, I don't want to use that money to start my own business, I don't want anything to my name, just be sensible.
Okay.
Just be sensible is what I'm preaching at the moment.
We do have to round this up like right now because it's almost 2 o'clock and I have another segment coming up real soon. But it's been really good talking to both of you. I'm going to take some of the messages I have in here. I have Adetoye who says, yes, I support some of your views. It is not a crime to have a woman who has a much bigger bag than the man. Part of the myth and lies is that that has been sold into the minds of African men is that even when they don't have enough, their ego makes them feel proud to accept the reality. We have Emmanuel who says, lazy guys everywhere. If it starts by asking you how much you earn or where you work, pick your shoes. And Emmanuel also says, how do you know a problem can't be solved? A lot of women and men leave on flimsy excuses in the name of it's not working. When infatuation wears off, most couples mistake it for lack of love, not knowing it's the beginning of realistic love. You know what, Emmanuel? This thing you talked about is just something else we're going to talk about on another day. Maybe I would invite Bidemi to also, talk about that and maybe further expansion
Not been in it for too long.
on the point she was trying to make. But yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of things that, what Emmanuel literally just talked about is just a lot of the learning and unlearning process a lot of people need to go through. So don't worry, Emmanuel. We're going to talk about it. Okay. But right now, Bidemi and Ronke, thank you guys for coming through. I know you guys have like a very busy
Thank you for having
schedule,
us. Thank you.
but thanks for coming by, guys.
No
Thank you. So we're Lagos. Remember, you can definitely catch us next week from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're going to be doing this on the Casbah. In the meantime, we're going to go on a quick break, and when we are back, it'll be time for destinations with our friends from Travel Culture. Stick around.
Love.